Hello Adam, this is Uncle Coco. I have another lesson for you today. Today we're gonna talk about some scales and some chords. I wanted to remind you to make sure that you practice some other scales like scale of F and B flat. And the reason I'm saying F and B flat first is because there is something called the cycle of fifths, and basically it's kind of the way that the chord progressions work. They work in cycles, like cycle of fifths or cycle of fourths. Cycle of fifths is it goes like this, in this direction. If you look at in the book on page 27, dominant tonic relationship in tunes. You see the cycle of fifths. It goes counterclockwise. So if you start at the top at C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat or F sharp, then B, E, A, D, G, C. See, the last three notes were, and that's how music resolves. Usually the song will end with the fifth and the one. It's the fifth going to the one. And before the fifth, you have the second. So that's in the key of C. So in the key of C, you have 2, 5, 1. And 2, 5, 1 is the most basic chord progression. And and actually, some music is music like blues follows the cycle of fifths very closely. So like a blues in the key of F will have we'll start with the 1, which is C, and then you go to the 4, and then after the 4, 1, 4, 5, back to the 1, which is not quite cycle of fifth. Actually, it's cycle of fifth from 1 to 4, and cycle of fourths from the 5 to the 1. Why is it called cycle of fifths? Because you're going from the when you go from F to C, no, from C to F, you're going from the 5 to the 1. When you go so F is the 1. F is the 1, and C is the fifth note in the scale of F. So, and then when you go from F to B flat, B flat is the 1, and F is the 5, because when you play the scale of B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, F is the 5. So cycle of fifth, you're going from the 1 to the 5. From the 5 to the 1, sorry. You're going from 5 to the 1. So from C to F, you're going from the 5, see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then B flat is the 5 of E flat. So you go. That is the cycle. So you should know this, all the notes along the cycle, no matter which note you start on. If you start on B flat, you know to go along the cycle of fifths, you go to B flat. From B flat, you go to A flat. From A flat, D flat, G flat. G flat, you go to B. From B, E, A, D, G, C. Alright. And okay, so I said go ahead, make sure you practice this at least scale of F and scale of B flat. You know, F, look at the fingering. That's F. Now B flat. Okay, so practice those two scales. Practice with the left hand as well. Practice, play them with both hands. Okay, so you can rewind and see how which fingers I'm using, and just go ahead and play them, practice them. At least you should know C, F, and B flat. Okay, next thing I want to show you is how to play. I want to show you some chords. Okay, the way you play chords, let's say we want to play the blues. In the blues, all the chords in the blues, the basic chords in the blues are dominant chords. Dominant chords mean you have a flat seventh. So instead of in the key of C, the key of C, the seventh is B. But this is a major seventh. The flat seven is B flat. So that's a seventh. This is a major seventh. So the natural scale of C major has a major seventh, but in the blues we play the dominant C dominant or C seventh chord. So okay, now I want to show you some things. When you play the chords, you don't just play. You know, sometimes you want to play basic chords, but I want to show you some what we call chord voicings. So in the blues, normally you start with the blues in C. You go from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So on the second major on F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then the next measure, third measure, back on C. And then fourth measure, you're on back on F. F for 2 measures. So basically, what I want to show you is how you play the C and the F. C, a C seventh can be played, or any dominant chord can be played in the simplest way. You can play a 3, the 3-7, or the 7 and 3. Actually, 3-7, 7 and 3 are good basic chord voicings. So you know, for anything you want to play. If you want to play a basic voicing, you can play the 3 and 7. So some music, some genres, it can be, you can use the, it requires a major 7th instead of flat 7th. So this is dominant 7th voicing in the key of C. So 3, flat 7th, flat 7th, 3. So depending on what you want to play, you can, these are inversions of each other. Same chord, different inversions, and you're not playing the roots. So these are shell voicings because they're basic 3-7. Sometimes you can play the 1-3-7. Some music you can play the 3-7-2. And this is what I want to show you. How do you add to the basic 3 and 7th, or 7th and 3rd and 3 chord voicing? When you play this is the thing. When you play the 3 and 7, you add the 2. And actually the 2 is now called the 9th because you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you have the flatted 7th, whenever you have a flatted 7th, you play the flatted 7th, the 2 becomes a 9. Okay, so this is the voicing. 3, flat 7, 9. Now, when you play the 7, flat 7, 3 voicing, the color note, so the note you can play to add color, is the 6th. So 6th in the key of C is A. So this or this. Okay, the interesting thing about the cycle of fifths is if you're playing dominant chords, from dominant chords around the cycle of fifths. So around the cycle of fifths, if you start at C, next chord is F. So if you play this one of these voicings, 3-7-2 or 7-3-6 on one of the chords, the next chord along the cycle of fifths will be the alternate voicing. So in C, I'm playing 3-7-2, and then if the next chord is F, then I'll play the 7-3-6 of F. And then you see, in this key of F, the flat 7th is E flat. So 7th, flat 7th, 3, 6. So the 3 in F is A, the 6th is D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 7, 2 in key of F. So it'll go something like this. Seven, 3, 6. Three, 7, 2. So you see how I'm alternating between from the 1 to the 4 to the 1. I'm alternating between the 3, 7, 2 and the 7, 3, 6 or 7, 3, 6 in C. So those are important voicings. 3, 7, 2, 7, 3, 6. So this is a 7-3-6 in F, followed by a 3-7-2. When I say 7, I mean flatted 7th in B flat. So that's around the cycle of fifths. Okay, so that's adding. So you start, the basic shell is a 3-7 or 7-3, same thing. 3-7-2, 7-3-6. Other thing you can do is in the voicings. Now play both the 9th and the 6th, and or the 2 and the 6th. And actually, the 2 and the 6th, when you play a dominant chord, which dominant chord to me means that the chord has a flatted 7th, so in the key of C, 7 flat 3, which is the shell, or it could also be called the cell for the chord, the basic cell, nucleus. Yeah, you have 7-3, and so if it's 7-3, you know automatically you go to you play the 6th. But what I was gonna say is that on the dominant chord that has a flatted 7th, which means it has a flatted 7th, when you play the 6th, it's called a 13th. You don't call it a 6th anymore. And when you play the 2, you call it a 9th instead of a 2nd. So on top of playing just the shell, or adding the 6th or the 9th, add both the 6th, add both the 9th and the 13th, which are 2 and 6. So you just call them different names. So in the key of C, so you'll have B flat, D, E, A. So that gives you a more jazzy voicing. Voicing means a way of playing a chord, or an arrangement of a chord, configuration, or you know how you position the notes to form the chord. So you can have different voicings, and the better you get, the more you find out what are some beautiful voicings, you know, and you can use them automatically. You just go to them instead of wasting time playing a B chord, a C chord as, you know, C, E, A. That is too basic and it doesn't sound the best. Sorry. Okay, so like I was saying, add both the 9th and 6th. That's the 3rd stage. All music may not require that, you know, to add all these color notes to the chord, but sometimes you need it. So there's a tune called, it was written in the 40s, I believe. It's called Killer Joe, and it goes like this. So this is a 7, 9, 3, 13 in C, and the same thing in B flat. So the 7th of B flat, which is the 7th of the scale of B flat, which is A flat, C, D, G. So the C is the 2nd of B flat, the D is the 3rd, and G is the 6th. 3, 4, 5, 6. And it goes like this. So you see, on every one beat, you're on the tonic. So on 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So whenever I say 1, I'm either on C or on B flat. 1, 2, way you play the chords. You play the chords. You can play basically. Watch out for the 1 and 3 beat. So 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you play on the 1. You can play You can play short, short, long, short, or short, long, or sometimes long, long. So short, short. Play on the 1, and when you say 2 and, so the and before the 3. Don't play on the 3. Play on the end, right? The 8th note before the 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so that's short, short. You can play short, long, which is you play on the 1 and 2 and 3. So you still play on the 2 and the and before the 3, but then you keep your hand on the chords, on the notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or you can play long, short. So 1 and 2 and 3. So you play 1 and 2, then you release your hand, and on the end, on the 2 you release, on the end you play the chord for just the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So those are the 3 ways you can play. Short, short, long, short, short, long, or sometimes you can play long, long, or sometimes you can play the chord for the whole chord, the whole measure. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You can vary or you can play consistently, it depends. And so this whole thing, playing chords like this, with different voicings, without playing a melody, is called comping. Comping, which means accompanying, or just when somebody else is playing, or somebody is singing, you're playing behind them. That's called comping. So you're not playing a melody. So go ahead and learn this little vamp, Killer Joe. And I'm gonna send you a link also on Facebook where there's someone who explained this lesson. I guess you can follow along, and check it out. All right, thank you, and keep practicing.